Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Pokemon Dungeons and Dragons Snow. This doesn't run like ice did. Oh well. I'm your host and GM and DM, whatever you want to call me, the Gold Crow. And with me, I have four of my wonderful friends with me. And um, speaking of what happened last time, who's gonna regale us with those events?
I
I
think
guess,
one of our turns. I'll
uh,
let you do it. Your first recap.
yeah, I guess I'll do it. Just give me. All right. So last time, we decided to go back to the mines, or at least we tried to. However, the mine master, I can't remember the technical term,
Foreman.
was talk, huh?
Foreman.
Foreman, that's it. The foreman was there and talking about how sort of going over what happened last time, and the party sort of gave them idea of the stuff they found. And after asking permission to go back into the mines through saying they were going to clean up and check on things, he didn't allow Nicholas to go because Nicholas was just some rando. And Nicholas was fine not going, but the rest of the party went to the mines and tried mining some stuff. Well, they noticed that the murder no longer the evidence of the fight and stuff were no longer there. But they went and tried to mine and ended up in an infinite encounter with a bunch of bugs that kept coming and coming and coming until they finally managed to get lucky. And they went back with just enemy data, but otherwise just a long fight. Meanwhile, Nicholas was playing his lutes in a tavern and learned a bit more about the magnesite mines and the ancient kingdom Furmore and how the tunnels all connected and stuff like that. But after the party came back, we rested and went back to Iron Broach itself. Once we got back to Iron Broach, we immediately went to that one person whose name I'm terrible with names, and we told her we gave the wing to her and asked her what she thought of it and the craftsmanship. She told us that it could have been made by pretty much anyone using leftover scrap that Cedric probably went out. Nicholas began mind reading her and learned basically she's trying to sort of pin this on the textile district. Not necessarily that she's responsible for it, but she seems to be trying to turn our attention to the textile district. So we learned that. And then after that, we met with Anna, who gave us the news and read everyone the riot act of leaving without her permission. And then after that, we met up with Estelle, told her about the Maniborn hiding, and she gave us some scrolls to help. And after that, she told Ira the news of her family and helped Ira sort of leave to go back to her home to help out her family in their trying times. And that's basically about what happened.
And the whole thing with the druids
Oh, right, yeah.
and Malcolm's nightmares.
Right. There was also the discussion of Malcolm's nightmares, and we're probably we're probably going to go see some druids today,
Possibly.
potentially.
Yeah, you can have a reroll for the session, though there were some parts left out. Those Malcolm parts were quite prevalent. All right. So I think we're just leaving off with you guys leaving Estelle's room with Malcolm's blood, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah, and you procured a bunch of scrolls she gave you as well.
Yeah.
correct.
Right.
You have those all marked down?
I believe so. I've got a lot of them now, so I would
think
hope
you're the one,
so.
We got like three different types.
Okay.
I think we each got to detect magic at the very least.
We each got to detect magic, and I think we got one dispel magic too.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think you have that one. I got silence and locate objects, so
Okay.
Oh wait, it was just detect magic and locate objects.
okay. Well,
So
I have that and that, so yeah.
was it one each or?
I believe it was 3.
Yeah, I could have sworn it wasn't 4. Like it was
Yeah,
3
it was
total.
3.
She gave you 3 of each.
3 total.
yes. And she gave you resistance potions as well.
Oh yeah.
I didn't remember the potion of resistance part.
Oh yeah, it was
Mark that
poison
down.
resistance that she gave us.
1
No.
poison, 1 acid.
Yeah, it was 1 poison, 1 acid.
Just
All right. And you guys got to remember what I give you because I'm not going to remember
yeah.
it for you.
I mean, my sheet says it's there, so
All
I
right.
just don't
remember.
remember necessarily where it came from.
All right. All right. So, where do you wish to go from here? I believe you've rested. So there's a lot of day left.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've just finished talking to Estelle, but we still have more things to do in the day, if I remember right.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think I can do this next bit relatively quickly here. While we're still in the building, I'm gonna like return to our room and ward the place, I guess.
All right. Is everyone coming with you?
Yeah.
Run back to the room really quick for
Yeah.
discussion. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Group huddle.
All right. And I guess more or less to speed things up, I'll give the quick and short of my/Proteus's plan to use the invisible ink spell twice to create a letter that shows 2 different messages, one to non-mana born people and one to regular people. And the regular person one will say up dog written in murder handwriting, and then the other one will say Henway and the same thing, but only show up for mana born.
Hemway or Henway?
Henway. It's in our like
Okay.
group DMs if you want to look at it.
Okay.
But it's not, it's written like a street name.
All right. So it just normally will say up dog for just any rando, but for a monoborn person, it will say Henway. Correct?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
One that isn't us.
That isn't you. Okay.
Man, you can be that specific.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't think
know
I
there was
could
discussion
be.
about that. I don't know if it can be that specific.
Yeah. It
You could just make it whoever's holding it and make the person that you want it to read it hold
I
it.
guess that's fair. if
Yeah.
it's-
So just to any monoborn, it will say Henway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see why we need to make it specific to people aside from us either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll more or less have Dante be the one to pass it to the person,
Okay.
because he both can read it and is not monoborn. Well, I mean, I guess Proteus could maybe do it, but
Well, it's that weird thing you did it, so and it's an illusion, so like
yeah, it might have weird side effects around me.
Yeah.
Because I could see, I think both might appear if I'm around, because, I don't know, can you with invisible ink? I'm not going to look that up.
Yeah. Who knows? It's just you can usually see through illusions if you created it. So.
Yeah.
Is it blank for you?
Yeah, no, it would just look like there's a bunch of black blobs on it as the text writes over each other.
Okay. Well, you've got this note in your possession now. How long does it last?
I believe it's permanent.
Okay.
Invisible ink is permanent, yes.
Okay. Well, you have this permanent illusionary note on you now.
That's neat.
Yeah. More or less the way it works is one message becomes invisible when the other one appears. But yeah. Anywho, so that's thing number one on the list, unless anyone wants to discuss things in character.
I guess just to expedite it, Nicholas hasn't outright told you guys yet that what he learned, what he got from the mind reading, so he'll inform you that basically the textile district is kind of where that lady's been trying to lead us on. I really need to write down names so I don't forget names.
Talia.
Talia
Talia.
Sunder.
Talia. Okay. So yeah, he's just to expedite. He's going to say that Talia was intentionally trying to lead us towards the textile district.
All right. Well, do we want to go visit Alara first, or do we want to start visiting Cedric first and see about some crafting?
Cedric's probably a better first step.
I think we should offload this men's side before anything.
Okay. Off to Cedric then.
All right. So you leave the central district and go back to the banging and a clanging of Cedric's district, and things seem to be relatively, I wouldn't say peaceful. There's still just a lot of banging and clanging in this district, and it's very noisy for you city folk or country folk bumpkins. But yeah, you go to his office. It's these stairs that wrap around this large building into this office that you could just knock on the door, and you hear the gruff voice of this berserker say, "Come in, come in."
Malcolm headbutts the door open.
You don't really you need to unlatch it, so if someone unlatches, yeah, you can.
So Malcolm just headbutts the
He
door
keeps
again.
headbutting it until we unlatch it, so maybe hits it like 3 times before it opens on the 3rd time.
Nah.
And as you enter, you see Cedric at his desk. Very ornate decor in here, but looks very gritty and grungy. Like there's the craftsmanship of the just various pieces of art and just weapons hanging on the walls, and various other like smith things. But yeah, there's kind of like grime on the side of the wall. The floor looks like it hasn't been washed in a while. His desk is pretty messy. But he sees you four and says, "Ah, you four." He goes through his like desk, a bunch of papers on it, and holds up the newspaper with Malcolm on it. "I read all about what you did in Red River."
Yeah, we came here to talk about a little bit about that.
Shut the door, please.
Yeah. Sinbad, Proteus will close
Sinbad.
the door. I have not made that mistake in like 7 sessions.
Wow.
Sinbad just materializes.
Where did this Vulpix come from? Or Ninetales?
Yeah, he has a bunch of seats on in front of his desk. He's like, take a seat, take a seat.
Okay, Malcolm hops up into one of them.
Well, lay it on me, would you?
All right. Well, do you want the good news, the bad news, or the weird news?
Well, I'll start off with the good news first. I'm kind of in a bad mood today.
All right. Proteus will pull out like the magnesite ore that we got from the dragon.
You see his like eyes glow between like atop this big bushy beard he has. This like big grin goes up. Ah, you did good there, boys.
Yeah, we were wondering if you might be able to make some medium armor out of it. Those two, he gestures to Malcolm and Gorvin, could make some good use out of that.
Oh yes, I could make a weapon for the lad there, as he points to Malcolm. Or I could probably make some good armor out of it. I could probably utilize some of the... This is some good stuff. Where'd you get this? It's refined. Who are you, by the way?
Oh. Sorry, give me a second. Recovering from a cold, sorry. Anyways, Nicholas gives the same thing he gave like everyone who asked that last session. The whole he was there on the train and decided to join up with them sort of feel.
Okay, well enough. Doesn't matter much if you're a friend of them. They've helped me, and you certainly gave me something to do with this this refined magnesite. Then again, where'd you find it? It doesn't usually come out of the mine refined like this.
Well, that there is the part of the bad news. We got from the murder who were using it in an automaton to try and scare people away from the mines.
Tali is up to it again, I see.
Well, the thing is, this goes beyond anything that she would really have fingers with, because they released a bunch of beasts into there, and we tried to clear them out, but unfortunately we couldn't clear them all out. There seems to be almost an unlimited number of them in there. So they've decided to close the mines, unfortunately.
At least until they can clear things out, but who knows how long that'll be.
He kind of scratches it. He doesn't really look too disappointed, but he's just kind of scratching his beard for a second. Just running his claws through it. Well, no skin off my back. Don't have to ship the magnesite to those blue buds over in Lumhausen.
Well, fair enough.
I would have expected you to be more upset over something like this, considering the amount of metalworking that Iron Bosch deals with.
Oh no, the magnesite was commissioned right from Lumhausen, and we don't have to do work for them, and, well, we can get back to what we usually do. The mine over yonder, full of, here was the, used to be a place where the sorcerer lords of old used to be their stomping ground, I hear. And we find a lot of stuff there to churn a profit. And we can go back to the basics, too. Iron Brooch is known for, well, iron.
Yeah, you've got a good history.
We can survive It'll put the airships out of commission for a little longer, but
Yeah.
that's not my area of expertise. That's a certain other person's.
And believe it or not, she didn't seem to really care.
Yeah. I guess it wouldn't affect her. The magnesite seems to be taking her job away. Ironic, isn't it?
Just a little bit, yep. We actually were speaking with her about it, and she seems to be fairly convinced that the textile district and the leaders thereof might have something to do with why the murder's stomping around.
Who, Alara?
Alara, yep.
Yeah. Talia, well, I guess I should mention, what we found down there was a construct made from pieces of Talia's work. But the thing is that it was kind of formed in the end using things from Alara's district, things that she did not report missing until far too late. Things that didn't seem significant, but now make sense.
Green paint being missing and some very fine cloth.
Well,
Actually, do we still have the wing with us?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No,
I
you
thought
guys
we
told
took-
me to keep it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we took it back.
Oh, okay.
So Malcolm might deploy again.
Malcolm deploys the wing.
yeah. Huh.
So this was painted green, and as you can see, this cloth here is, well, a cut above anything else. This thing could actually fly. Nothing Talia has ever made could do that.
Well, you have me there.
Oh,
But Alara, she's the one trying to mediate things between Talia and I.
yeah, it's...
I'm still of the opinion that I think what's going on is maybe this whole thing with the murder could be completely unrelated, and they're just taking a cut of everyone's craftman in some amount. I mean, well, that's
Yeah.
hoping that maybe you recognize any work here that might be something you're familiar with.
You're referring to the wing?
Yes.
He takes a look at it, pulls out one of that little like eyepiece, that little eye monocle that stretches out, and he's just kind of looking over it. Well, this is certainly a piece of fabric right here. Not something you can get cheap. So if Talia was telling you that Alara has something to do with this, the textile district is probably where they got it. But that could have gotten outsourced in a black market. Or perhaps they bought it somewhere else, Lumhausen, where a lot of this fabric goes. But locally, the only place you can get it is right here in Ironbroach in the textile district. And if the murder had it, well, either they bought it, and this isn't cheap, mind you. This material right here is not cheap. Either they bought it, or they stole it. Well, the thing is about this, none of this fabric has been reported stolen. Only green dye has, and, well, it's not worth much.
Certainly give credence to the idea that maybe someone in the textile district was applying them.
Very possible that it may not be Alara, but perhaps someone that works under, perhaps one possibility is that someone working under all of you is conspiring to do this.
Oh, and it wouldn't get under Alara. She keeps things really close to her chest. She triple checks everything in her district. She's a fence sitter, but she's very shrewd, very business savvy. And a piece of cloth like this going missing would not go under her nose.
Interesting. That's quite good to know. It rules out the possibility of, at the very least, it rules out the possibility that was some underling going around her. Not necessarily that it was her, but at the very least, it rules that part out.
Yeah. Well, now for the weird news. We found this note that you can show Dante.
He'll pull out said note.
You're the invisible inked note?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks at it. What? What about it?
Does any of it make sense to you? That just has the one word scrawled on it.
Well, what's up, dog?
I don't know. That's what we found with all this murder stuff, but we're hoping we'll eventually find someone who understands what that means.
Well, where'd you find it?
Just found it with them after we apprehended a few. That's what we found.
You just found a note there? Just looks
Yeah.
looks like nonsense to me.
I imagine it's some sort of code. It could be something that they're using or attempting to use to remove us from their trail, but I suspect there's some sort of code in there.
The last time we saw one of their notes, it was also just nonsense.
Well, you're looking at the wrong guy for deciphering languages, or code, or ciphers, or what have you.
Do you happen to know anyone who would be good at something like that?
I would say probably Alara, since she deals with all sorts of... She's more or less a merchant, and deals with international affairs where goods ship out. So she would probably be able to... She understands a lot of languages.
Well, we could certainly try showing it to her, see if that would bring us up any extra info we didn't already know. Otherwise, I didn't fully expect that the fact that we're still puzzled over it means it's likely that it'll be hard to find someone who does fully understand what the murder's attempting with this note.
Well, best of luck with that, but if you want something I am good at, well, a hammer and a furnace, I can work that rock you have into something good, something useful.
All right.
What do you want? I can make you, and I've given you what he can make with it.
Yeah.
We still have the armor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty sure we agreed on having him make it into breastplate.
It's gonna make it a breastplate.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the
Himscale.
however you pronounce that, breastplate.
All right. Yeah. So a breastplate. He's just happy to work with the magnesite, so he will. You don't have to buy the medium armor. He will just do it for you. It will take a day, but you have to give him the magnesite.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Yep. I will hand it over to him, and I will also say, would it be okay if I used some of your facilities and worked on my own project while you're working on that?
Oh, certainly, certainly. There's a lot of places you can go. You have full access. Everyone should know who you are. So, if someone's in the way, just tell them to move, get the hell out of the way, and let you work.
All right, good to hear. Thank you.
Yeah. So, in terms of forging your own armor, it just takes a day of downtime as well.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'll probably close out the day by working with the black stone.
All right. I mean, like, you need to work on it like a whole day.
Oh, all day.
Yeah. You
All right,
could.
guys.
You basically need to put in 16 hours, so like you could break it up if you want. You want to do that instead?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
I'm like, as long as we don't get in a fight today.
Okay. All right. So, do you want to put 8 hours in, or do you want to continue around the city?
We should probably. Well, do you guys think you need me to see Alara, or do you want me to work on this now so we can do Jasper's thing with a bit more wiggle room?
One thing you can do, though, is you could just get someone in Cedric's district to do it for you. But it costs money.
Yeah, then the question is how much money?
10 gold an hour, so 160. If you're just going to get them to do it in the background.
Yeah, if I put 8, can I split it between them so I do what I can today and lower the price?
It's hourly, so 10 gold an hour.
Okay.
You put in 8 hours yourself, and
Yeah.
80.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so one thing you can do is just go on your sheet and put the armor you're making and just put 8 hours into it, and once it hits 16, you know. Are you leaving it here with someone?
I mean, I guess I would have to if it's going to get worked on when I'm not around.
Yeah, alright. And yeah, you're allowed to... these are common materials around these parts, so they know how to work with it. Are you giving them the armor to... You actually need to provide the armor you're going to apply this to as well.
I guess I could just take off my current studded leather. I have backup.
Okay. Yeah. And you have to give them material, the armor, and the gold, and they'll put that much hour.
Yeah. Let's see. I think I need all 4 black rock to make the armor, correct?
Yeah.
It.
Calculating.
For medium 4 ores.
Yeah, this is studded leather, so maybe I can't.
The light.
Oh, for light armor.
It's that weird spot where it's
4.
both.
Yeah.
You have 4?
Yeah, we have 4.
Yeah. I have 4. So can studded leather be made out of it? Or is it like, no, the metal parts are just not going to work?
Any light armor cannot be formed with the ore and requires materials. I am going to say it still requires 4. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I was just at this point I was like, oh no, I can't even make it at all. Yeah, that's fine. 4 ore is good price. I will do it.
Okay. Okay, all your materials are there.
Yep. Marked
right.
down to 0 on this sheet. Hours currently at 0.16.
All right. Well, you're leaving it with them, and however much you're paying them, you can just write that down. How many hours?
Yeah, I'll work on it what I can during whatever may remain of the day and then pay out the rest.
All right. Okay, well, it's there. Where do you wish to go next?
The
Go talk to
textile
Laura.
district.
Okay. You make your way through the town once again. The smells of dyes and the humming of sewing and the shipping of large canisters going onto ships now is now in view, and you can hear in this district. There are various merchants selling various fabrics and carpets. Where do you wish to go in particular here?
Oh yeah, doesn't
Before we-
Alara move around?
Yes, she's very
Oh.
busy.
Before we go looking
Okay.
for her, just to ask everyone else, do we plan on showing her the wing?
I don't know. I don't really know how you're carrying that around too, because it's like
Yeah, it is big.
I assume it can fold up. I mean, it is a wing.
it folds, but still, it'd be like a big,
It's still
large
big.
stick sticking out of your.
Malcolm
I don't
just-
know, but he's got it. He's had it this whole time.
It's just
Malcolm is
Malcolm
strong.
there's just a stick coming out of his wool.
But his wool isn't grown.
No,
He's
it's
strapped to his back like a giant dark soul sword.
Like all of
Yes.
his other weapons.
I will
Yeah.
say, if you are carrying around, it will be visible.
Okay.
Gotcha.
All right.
Well, that knocks out that question then.
What do you wish to do from here?
So yeah, we're gonna ask around, see if anyone can point us to where Lara currently is at.
Someone roll a percentile for me.
Who wants to do that?
Fire out
Party
ladies first.
face. Oh, fine. 55.
Middling.
You go to the nearest merchant, selling these like fabric scrolls on the that you're supposed to like hang on your wall of just kind of these scenery of this kind of stitched scenery. And she says to you when you ask her where Alara is, I don't know. I saw her by the docks. She's usually in her office. I don't really know where she is right now. I'm working on my business here.
His first option then is just to search on the docks first, and otherwise. Oh, thank you. We'll just have to spend our time looking.
Oh. Right.
What's closer, the docks or her office?
I was just about to ask the same thing.
Her office is probably closer.
All right, let's start
Let's
with
check
that.
that first.
Yeah, it's probably the one most likely.
Okay. So it goes into kind of it's actually a little more quieter here. There's not many other people around. But you reach the office where you see two potted plants on the side of not her office, but a building that contains her office. It's not like a skyscraper or anything. It's just kind of this small little. It's kind of like almost a 2-story building, it seems, but
A lot more homely around here compared to the other districts.
yeah, you see two potted plants with strange flowers growing out of them. These very unnatural, magical-looking flowers.
What happens if Malcolm gets close?
It blooms even more.
Oh my- Do we
But-
happen to recognize these at all with the herbalism kits?
They're magical flowers, so you wouldn't really recognize them.
They're made of dreams.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
In fact, your herbalism kit tells you that. It's like, you should be able to identify these, but you can't.
Malcolm doesn't even need to pull out his herbalism kit. He just says, they're made of dreams.
Literally or...
Literally.
I regret having enhanced ability prepared today instead of the other.
But the door is shut, and in the windows the curtains are drawn, and if you how are you approaching this?
We just want to open the knock.
You knock, maybe thump too, but there's no response.
They're closed.
Looks like she's away from her office.
Means
Well,
we'll be checking the docks.
we could certainly do that, but how many people, just passerbyers, are around?
It's not like, because this kind of goes off into it's kind of off in this kind of back street, and just like there's not really people hanging around. There's just maybe someone who walks by every like few minutes going somewhere else.
This area
Okay.
isn't so much the working as it is just office space.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so Nicholas sees this and says, we could go to the dock. There's one of three options we have. We could check at the dock, see if she's there. We could wait for her here, or potentially we could learn some information for ourselves.
I mean,
What do you have in
all of
mind with the
them.
third option?
Just, it's not breaking and entering if you go in, learn what you can, and then lock the door. They can't prove a thing.
Dante kind of folds his arms.
Oh, I like this plan.
We are not breaking into her office.
She's a flying type. She has to have a hatch to fly in and out of.
But she used the door.
We'll have no part in this.
You're too tall anyway.
He just frowns.
Hey, if anything our adventures have taught us so far, we know that's true. Every time we have to be sneaky, you're being tall gets something weird happening.
It's a simple suggestion. We could certainly learn information just from speaking from her, but there's a strong possibility we might find out if she's hiding anything.
Is your friend here, Dante? I mean, Proteus?
No, he's not. Not one of my many friends, but you know, I've been on roofs before.
If you get caught, I will not have any part in this.
You're guilty by association. Proteus is going to do a perimeter check to look for exits and possible entrances.
All right.
And try to build a mental map with his cartography tools. Well, he doesn't have like the tools with him, but the proficiency.
Okay.
Unless we should go buy those right here, right now.
You
That
kind of
makes sense.
you kind of need the tools to get advantage with it, but so it would.
Could
just
you at least make a cursory
yeah.
glance at the interior, just doing a runaround?
Yeah, I'm saying I'll let you do it, but you won't get the advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can either use if you're look I'll let you do either a perception or investigation to kind of look at the building.
I like investigation.
Oh,
Apparently not. I got a 12.
Oof.
it's too late to say guidance.
I mean, only Malcolm can say now.
Do you want it?
Only a
Uh,
12.
on one hand, it's only on 12. On the other, the day is probably the last thing we do for the day. So,
Granted,
All
this is
right.
also only for
I'll
the
use it.
all right,
perimeter check.
All right, so a D4 to that.
The D4.
Hey,
16.
16.
nice.
All right. So with the 16 actually does push you over the edge because I would have just told you there's just the doors and windows, but it is a square. It's just kind of a large cube. But there is another way of exiting, and there is a vent. But the vent you see is barred.
ventilation system.
All right. So, how are these bars mounted onto the vent?
It's kind of like it's just a kind of like a girder. It's just
Yeah, what I mean is like, are they welded into it, or is there like an
they're screwed.
attachment point? Okay, screws are easy.
I'd say like thieves' tools would probably be good enough to undo that.
Yeah, let's see. How long does this spell last? Where are you? Minor illusion is an hour, I believe.
It's a minute.
It's 1 minute. Okay, so I'd have to use silent image then. Well, that's only 10 minutes. Really? Well, I think I can probably just do this the non-magical way. And just prop it back up and make it just look like it's there once I get inside.
Okay. So the thing about this vent too is like you can definitely fit in it, but it goes straight up once you when you look in there too.
Man, you really do have to be a bird. Um, we don't have an immovable rod, do we? I don't think we do.
Wait, didn't we get one from the chest in the mines?
If we did, I don't have it.
It was on Ira, but I think we would have that now.
I don't think you got an immovable rod.
Wasn't it? I remember there was a chest that we couldn't move because there was a.
There was a rock
Do
on
you
it.
guys?
Oh
You
wait,
guys
no,
put a
no,
copy
wait,
of-
right.
You
I'm
guys have a copy
misremembering.
of Ira's sheet, don't you?
Yeah, you definitely don't have an immovable rod.
Okay, no, I was misremembering. There was a
Yeah.
cloak of protection in there. I remember we had trouble moving the chest and thought
Yeah.
back then it was an immovable rod keeping it in place.
Okay, I have plan B. So, I'm going to go and get my rope, and I'm going to use some slime. Do I have to use like a full bottle for this? It's only like one end of the rope here.
It's like a vial. So
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
yeah.
So I pull out my little vial, stick the rope in it, and I use mage hand and have it go all the way to the top. Well, how tall is it actually? I should ask that first.
It goes up about, I would say, about 25, 30 feet.
Yeah. So I can easily do that by just sticking part of the rope in there and then sending it up to the top and more or less gluing it up there and then climbing up.
Okay, yeah, it's sticky slime, so it would hold because that's as advertised. So yeah, you could it'll be stuck there until you pull it off. But yeah, it's sturdy. It's in place.
All right, and once again, I'll put the grate back over just because I can. I guess I will minor illusion the screws back in, even though they're technically on the inside where I can reach them.
Yeah. Okay, and everyone's
So
just gonna.
it'll look completely flush, at least for a minute.
Okay, and everyone's going to just wait outside for you.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Nicholas is gonna wait outside. What he's going to do is gonna grab his, he's gonna ready his lute and he's gonna start playing some pretty loud music if Alora starts coming by as a warning for Proteus to start moving back.
These two are staying nearby conspicuously. I am going towards the docks.
Okay.
And Malcolm's gonna go with Dante.
Okay, remember you have the letter with you.
Okay. Um.
Okay, yeah, let's split up here.
So, Nicholas and Proteus are at the office doing this sneak-in plan, and Malcolm and Dante are going to go to the docks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
This is a note, though. I'm probably not actually looking to talk to Alara yet. I'm gonna wait, but just sort of searching around.
Okay. I'm gonna try to bounce between these the best I can.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, it's understandable.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but we'll start with Proteus. You make your way up the vent. You're it's doing that thunk 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 sound as you're die-harding your way through. You're John McClaning your way through. You usually get up to the top, and it makes a few like S curves and snakes in a few directions. See, it goes down again. But if you stick up to this top one, you see another grate in front of you.
Okay. So just the one grate.
Yes.
All right. And I guess I'll just observe the room down there, make sure there's actually no one down there, and I can't hear anyone in there.
No, it is very quiet in here. You look down. There is a dimly lit office below you. You need to kind of get down to get a better look, but there's like desk and drawers, and there's a wardrobe. There's a mirror in there. An empty wine bottle and a glass, and you see various paper. It's a lot neater than Cedric's office, but there are papers about in this office.
Okay. Is there any of them like close to the edge of a table within 60 feet of me, or is it like way far away?
You're about 15 feet up right now, so yes, you could like mage hand if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'm more or less just going to do the cat thing and like knock a piece of paper to the ground
All right.
just to see if anything in the room reacts to that.
Okay. So yes, there's a piece of paper on the desk that you just kind of slide off the desk, and it hits the ground. Nothing happens.
All right. And satisfied with that, I'll start working on this part of the equation here.
The grate.
Yeah.
All right, it's similar manner. You have to just unscrew it.
Yeah. This
All
one I'll have to keep on the inside, I think. Otherwise, I won't be able to put it back.
Yeah. All right. So, but you're up on the ceiling right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the dock with Malcolm and Dante. You see various containers being lifted by cranes onto boats. This is kind of the area where you saw Laura last time. You'd have to look around to find her. If she is here.
All right. Malcolm will be keeping an eye out for her, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. Then roll a percentile, Malcolm.
Oh boy.
Wrong notation. 28.
It is a very busy day here, and you see the girder you were talking to. She was talking with the other day. Kind of pointing at the one of the containers going onto one of the boats.
Okay. Malcolm's just gonna walk up to him and say, "Where's Alara?"
Oh, I don't know. She's. Who are you?
Malcolm.
Well, Malcolm, I don't know. She's a busy Pokemon. She was where did I see her last? I think she went to. I think she went to the dying district, actually,
Okay.
or the dying hut.
Okay.
Well, I thought you said dining for a second.
Yeah, I thought I heard dining too. I was like, what? She's out eating right now?
And Malcolm walks back over to Dante. Dante may not have even realized he was gone. He's gonna say, "The guy says she's at the dying hut."
Oh. Well, I wasn't actually planning to go talk to her quite yet. I would rather with those two finish up their business first. I have no part in. But
Are they gonna get in trouble?
they might.
Uh-oh.
So I apologize if you can keep hearing her barking in the background. She's going to need some attention in a moment.
Doggos are doggos. You can't really do much
She's
about it.
old. I apologize. But yeah, Dante will just sort of start looking for this dying district.
Hut.
Assuming this is like a sub. Is it a sub district or you just?
It's a dying hut. It's a specific place.
Oh. I heard the word district before, so I got confused.
Yeah, it's very much like a sub district in there where someone will tell you and point you the way there if you wish to go there. Is that what you're going to do?
I'm mostly just still kind of inclined to wait for the rest of the group since I feel like Proteus has a better way with words here.
Mm-hmm. So, like, you're just going to stay at the dock then?
I think for now.
Okay. And you are
I
too,
apologize.
Malcolm?
I apologize for being boring.
Okay. And you are too, Malcolm?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go back to Proteus. The last of the 4 screws comes off. And the vet falls down before you grab it and maybe, like, slide it up inside.
Yeah. All right. So the closest thing to me is like a bookshelf or something, right?
No, this is in the center of the room. So
okay. So so it's like going straight down. Then it's like not in the side of a wall.
yeah, it's going straight down.
Okay. Is there a bookshelf or anything in here?
There is a bookshelf over to like on the walls, and there's a desk on the northern side of it. There's a large window with the curtain drawn.
I may have to do espionage from the ceiling. Let's see. Yeah. From I'd have to pull. It'd take too long to get papers up here and back down there in a quick time. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet and blow my last spell slot here. I'm gonna have to go and I think I'll have to duplicate my rope because I did not specify cutting half of it down. So
Okay. So you're just gonna make another rope?
yeah, I'm gonna use counterfeit copy on my rope.
Okay.
Which, at the very least, creates a duplicate of it with the slime on it.
Yeah, it's non-magical. Yeah.
So,
Okay. Yeah. You'll have a rope with the slime on it.
so I'll do the same trick and come down on the black rope.
All right. Yeah, you slide down, and you are in Alar's office that looks well organized, clean, and professional on the surface. There's bookshelves filled with ledgers and textile samples and neatly stacked papers, and a large desk sits at the end with a few personal touches like a small vase of flowers and framed pictures of her. It's like Smeargle drawings with her and well-known business partners or workers. However, there's an undercurrent of something more, a faint smell of incense, and there's a ticking clock that echoes in the quiet room.
All right. Well, half my face is nose, so we're gonna follow that.
The incense.
Yeah.
It appears to actually do a perception check, because
12.
You like 12 today.
the scent of the incense is just kind of overpowering, so you can't really tell where it's coming from, but you can't see.
Well, it's dark in here, right?
Dimly lit.
Okay. Well, incense has to be lit in order to make a smell, so
Yeah, you can't see anything
there's
lit.
no like small pockets of light of color that I can see or anything.
Yeah, no.
All right. Is there a downstairs to this place?
There is a door locked on. Well, there's a door that is locked at the other end of the room.
Okay. Um, yeah, for now I'll start. I'm gonna cast Tiny Clone.
Okay.
So tiny self shows up, and together we're going to start looking through Talia's stuff to see if we can find interesting things. The guy on the floor, I guess, is gonna be mostly looking through like drawers and the lower half of the room, and I'll go through the upper half.
Okay. The points of interest are the large desk. There are some drawers on that, but there are other desks and drawers just throughout the room. There's a wardrobe and a mirror.
Yeah. We'll start. Is this like a mirror that goes with the wardrobe so you can see like the clothes you put on or something?
It's an ornate standing mirror.
Okay, so
It looks
yeah.
very out of place.
So I'll have the tiny clone investigate that while I work with the. Oh, actually, no. Let's switch places. I'll have him start on the drawers while I look at the mirror.
Okay. We'll start with the clone first. The clone, like, do you know everything it sees, or?
Tiny clone is a strange spell, so let me look it up. It seems it will continue doing what I told it to do.
Like, it seems more like it's a helper rather than a.
Its intelligence is unknown.
Well, the point is, like, it's like not you really. Like, it's not an extension of you. It's just kind of a thing that helps you, right? So, it's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna relay information to you.
It can talk.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Okay, I can work with that.
Oh boy.
So the clone starts telling you in the drawers, there's some high quality fabrics in here. But there's also documents and textile shipment orders and invoices to her business. They're to very different regions, the mist continent, the water continent, the grass continent, but there's a transaction here that's conspicuously missing details. There are also a few personal items in here, it seems. There looks to be a journal in here that has a lock on it. And there's a coin pouch here. And there's a locked drawer. Meanwhile, at the mirror, the mirror, as I said before, it looks it's a large standing mirror, very out of place. It's finely crafted, and you see your reflection in it.
Okay. I have a couple of these. Yeah, so my reflection is accurate. It's not weird or anything.
Yep, it seems to be all in order. It's just a mirror reflecting the room, and you.
All right. Just to be safe, I'm going to cast Detect Magic.
All right. That's on your spell list, right? That's
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you can just cast it for free. Detect Magic, activate as your eyes kind of turn the color of magic. So yes, you are looking at the mirror, and there's divination magic.
Oh, that's incriminating. Let's see. I'm not.
Remind me of what like detect magic does. It's like you sense magic, but you actually have to.
Yeah, pretty much. You see if magic is on something, and then you have to use an action to figure out the school.
Yeah, it's divinations on the mirror. You don't know like what spell or anything it is. It's just you know the school.
Yeah, that's the only thing that you learn.
Okay. Yeah. I'll let you do an Arcana check with that knowledge.
Okay. I believe these are a +9. Yes. 12.
Why? Do you
Uh,
want the reroll?
Yeah, maybe you should have bardic inspiration done before you went in.
Yeah, I
there.
was I was thinking that.
The moment I got in, he was like kicking himself.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I was like, ah, gosh darn. Do you want the I honestly want to give you the reroll for this. I know it's
Just your,
early, but this might be important. Yeah, take the
just your
reroll.
reroll. Okay. I'll do it. 18.
Yep. That all you need is a 15, and it's a mirror of scrying.
Oh.
I probably needn't remind you what the scrying spell is all about. But
Yeah.
That was a big thing in the ice campaign.
yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely incriminating.
Yeah, Sabrina's going off in my head.
All
But
right.
this is a magic item, more or
Yeah,
less.
it's not the same thing as being mana born. It's not like
Yeah.
it's enchanted.
Yeah.
Ugh.
All right. So with that in mind, I'm going to go back to the drawer and go see what my clone was talking about. Who, by the way, is gone. I had to get rid of him to detect magic.
Oh.
All right. Yeah, there you see those things that there's a bunch of ledgers and business documents. There is a few personal effects. That seems to be a journal, more notably, and a coin pouch.
All right. Well, I guess I can pick up the coin pouch and maybe open it with Mage Hand and just see what's in there.
Okay. You pick up the coin pouch and look inside.
I should mention I still have the detect magic, so if it's magic, I would know before picking it up.
There's no magic on it.
Okay.
But inside the coin pouch is a bunch of electrum pieces from foreign that are foreign.
International affairs and such.
Who uses electrum pieces?
I wonder.
Apparently, Lara. All right.
So what continent would use electrum?
Oh, well, we'll return that and to the nice, neat place it was.
Roll a D100.
D100. Me?
Yes.
31.
Okay. You're good. What else are you doing?
All right. I'm gonna go look at those documents the clone was talking about.
Okay. On these documents, there are various textile shipments and orders and invoices related to her business here. Some of these include high-quality fabrics that were shipped to different regions, but there's a recent incomplete transaction that's conspicuously missing details.
All right. Um, is it all on like one page?
There are a few pages.
Okay. I am going. Yeah, I guess I'll have to spread. Yeah, how many? Like a few is in like 20 or a few is in like 4?
Like 4.
Okay, I'm gonna spread them out and cast. Oh, that's a good question. If I cast image capture, does it capture what I see? Let me go
Yeah,
check.
I guess it would be like what you see.
Yeah, it's everything I can see. So it would have the dark vision. So if I can read it clearly, I will cast image capture on them so we can review it later.
Okay.
All right. And then let me quickly go over to my crystal and write down pick of Alara shipment notes. And then mark off that I've used my casting of it for the day. Okay. And as much as I want to touch that journal, I know that that would be best suited to when I have more spell slots.
Okay. And there's one locked drawer that the clone found as well.
Yeah, so I'm going to put everything back in order.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to go over to the locked door drawer and pop it open.
All right. Do a thief's sleight of hand at advantage.
18.
Uh, yeah, you pop it open.
All right. What's in here?
There is a purple box, small, like it looks like a jewelry box, like with this kind of velvet and purple, just jewelry box that opens at the front, and it also has a lock on it.
Okay.
It's the only thing in here.
And then there's nothing magic or strange about it. I do have jeweler tool proficiency.
There's nothing magic about it.
Okay, nothing weird with the craftsmanship. It all looks good.
The Do an investigation at advantage.
Okay. Nat 20.
Yes,
Oh.
there is something weird about this. You've seen this jewelry box before,
Oh.
but not literally. You've seen the kind of jewelry box it is before, and what's weird about it is it's a little bigger than it should be.
Yeah. Okay, well, now we have to see if we can pop it open. I imagine that's a secret compartment, so I'll probably see if I can feel for a latch or something with. Can you feel for a latch or something with a mage hand?
Mage can feel.
Yeah, well, the arcane trickster one is like kind of like made for doing like finesse
This.
kind of thing. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It says you can specifically make dex checks with it, which you normally can't.
yeah. So this would be a sleight of hand check to, well, an investigation to either look for it or yeah, it's you need to do an investigation to find if there's like a way to a latch on it.
Yeah, that's fair. No bueno though. It's only a 10.
All right, yeah,
Ooh.
you don't know where that would be.
All right. Well, I'll pop it open and I'll see if I can find if there's one on the inside at the very least.
All right, do a another. Give me a dex check or a sleight of hand advantage, and then roll another d100 for me. Or d6, not a d100. Yeah, we'll do it that way.
Oh
Oh
god.
no, he's ratcheting it up. Oh, there's our 12.
Yeah. The jewelry box does not open.
Oh, she got good luck. 43.
No, d6 instead of the.
D6.
There it is.
Oh, I knew it was coming.
At that moment, Nicholas, you see a kind of a very exotically dressed Skarmory making her way towards the building. You know this to be Alara Windcrest.
Oh boy. All right. So, as Nicholas sees this, he pulls out his lute and he begins playing a jovial little song, hoping Proteus hears this as he walks up and approaches her.
Yeah, you're close to the vent, so you would definitely hear that. Proteus, you hear the sound of the fife that Nicholas was holding playing very loud. And
All right.
do a performance check, Nicholas.
All right.
I guess it's an advantage because you're using.
Yeah. That's a really neat thing.
Yeah, don't worry. We still have our black magic plan in the background, where we can do the fun stuff down the road.
Dirty 20.
She looks like about to enter the building, but she kind of stops and listens to you play it. And she doesn't say anything. You seem to caught her interest.
Okay, then yeah, Nicholas will smile wide as he continues playing his beef and just gives her this nice little performance.
All right, what are you doing, Proteus? Now that you can hear this sound.
Yeah. Well, I failed to open this, so we are gonna put it back the same way it was facing when we found it.
Okay.
And we're going to close the drawer, relock the drawer,
Okay.
and just leave the place as if I was never here.
Do a sleight of hand advantage to lock it.
Okay. Yeah, nat 20.
Yeah, you got it. And yeah, you just kind of have to go up the rope and.
Yeah, pull it back. It'll disintegrate in an hour, including the slime.
So you're just
Well, an hour from when I cast it, so probably like however many minutes have passed by now.
So you're just gonna pull it up into the vent.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up into the vent, pull it in with me, and then put down like the screws and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that relatively. I'm not gonna make you do a check because like any idiot could, you know. Advice for DMs out there: don't make them roll to tie their shoes or do something like a normal person could do.
You know, unless we're playing a band of idiots that can't even do that.
Yeah.
Oh my
Malcolm would have to roll to tie his shoes.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, but you're in that awkward situation where now she's kind of by the vent, so you can't really emerge.
Yeah. For now, I will, at the very least, cast silent image over like the vent and more or less make it, yeah, look look like the cardboard, what you would expect to see looking into the vent,
All right.
which would be black, vague shape of vent
Okay.
to
With
hide myself in the rope.
She gives you 5 gold, Nicholas, and
Yes.
says,
Neat.
"Where did you learn to play that?"
It's a little trick I learned back in my hometown in Loomhausen. I was always fascinated by street performers and wanted to sort of learn how to do performing myself. Thought it'd be a nice way to give cheer to some of the less fortunate over in the city.
I've heard many uh, play their craft in the streets in my district, but I've never heard one as striking and distinct as yours.
Well, thank you.
Well,
Now then, you are Laura, correct? Sorry, yeah, Laura, correct?
yes, I am Alara.
Ah,
I'm surprised you're hanging around my district and don't know who I am.
well, I was pretty sure I knew who you were, but not entirely positive. I'm actually here with Malcolm, Proteus, and Dante. They were looking all over for you, and they asked me to wait here to see if you happen to arrive here or not.
Well, though they were last time I checked, they were looking for the missing die, if I am correct.
Yeah,
Well, if they found it, then I I could organize an audience with them. They could. I'm quite busy today, but I can if they can come within the next hour or two, that should be. I should be free in my office here.
all right. Very well. I suppose I'll have to go. I'll have to now find them in order to tell them, but I'll be sure to do that.
Yeah, thank you. Uh,
Yep.
Nicholas, you said?
Did I get my name?
I don't know. Did you?
I don't think I did.
Oh, okay. She says, and then in that case, she says, "Thank you,
Gorvin.
Gorvin." Yes.
All right.
And she turns around, gives you kind of a little bow with her head, and turns around and goes into her office.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
probably
Nicholas is eternally sweating, hoping.
hearing how this conversation is going, Proteus has probably been creeping towards the edge of the the place, getting ready to do his deeds, get down and out.
All right. Yeah. So she leaves. Well, she's going into the building. You then just kind of go out through the fake gate.
I'm gonna have to come down to the bottom of the chute.
Yeah.
I'm going to once again cast Silent Image behind me so I cannot be seen. And then I'm going to I'm gonna have to like water down the slime on the ceiling so I can pull down the rope and stuff.
Yeah.
This is why we have soap.
Oh, you got soap. Yeah, you could get that and get out.
Yeah, and then get out, put the screws back in. I will change my disguise self to be like somebody that looks like they're from the textile district.
Okay.
I don't know if they're all like steel or poison types like the other ones or not.
It's a little more of a melting pot in this place because it's kind of like international and seamstresses. But you notice people here wear very kind of flowing robes and colorful fabrics.
Yeah, well, I know a colorful Pokemon. Deerling!
What?
Deerling.
Oh, deerling.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
So I'll go temporarily from Sawsbuck to Deerling, so that way the outfit still relatively works.
Stantler.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So you are a deerling. Just kind of maybe wearing kind of. It's very like Eastern Mediterranean kind of style here.
Yeah, so it'd probably be more or less along those lines, and then I'd probably meet up with Corvin and go to the docks or something.
Yeah. You probably see Dante crossing his arms, sitting at the dock with Malcolm, just watching.
Yeah, I'll probably go duck into an alley before turning back into a Stantler and then rejoining them.
Okay. I will say you've all reconvened.
All right. Yeah, as we reconvene, Nicholas goes up to Dante and Malcolm and says, Alora's in her office, so if we want to speak to her, now's the time.
Yeah, and I'm glad we got to go do things, well, our way. She's got some stuff in there that is rather peculiar. I think I know why she's so on top of her business. She's got I guess, and at this point, you'd be moving into dark, just in case Malcolm would say something about it. And he'd say, mirror of scrying in her room.
Oh, that's interesting.
Hate this is how you found out, but that is certainly odd for her to have.
Honestly, I want to go back in a second time. There's other peculiar knickknacks in there. But
You weren't spotted whatsoever.
I don't think so.
With
I
your
didn't.
with your nat 20 on the mirror too, you would know that purchasing one of those would be very expensive. Like some people would not see that amount of money in their lifetime.
Yeah, well, to be fair, that wasn't the only expensive thing in her house either. Like,
Would it make sense for her to make that much, given her work in the textile district?
It would. It's just even then it's just a very exotic item for her to have.
Like she wouldn't be getting any other sort of pleasantries, just that.
Yeah.
Doesn't absolutely confirm that she is monoborn or anything, but it
yeah, like I
does.
said,
A magic
Probably.
item isn't exactly something that would be connected to mana,
Well-
but that's still more just the issue of, well, you're of scrying. What could she possibly be doing that isn't nefarious?
Proteus shrugs. I don't know, Dante, but you got her silver bullet to find out whether or not she's monoborn.
He just looks at the paper.
He does want an update on the green dye situation, and we certainly have an update for her.
Right.
Yep.
That
Plus-
and he motions to the wing that Malcolm's still carrying.
Mm-hmm. Plus, since we know where she is, I can do a little. And Nicholas taps a claw to his brain. I could do a little trick to also learn some extra information as well before we enter.
You mentioned, aren't they part of the? you do understand what you're doing is against the edicts.
No, that's not enchantment. That's divination. We found out.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's
No.
he's riding that red line as far as it goes.
It's morally questionable and probably very ethically questionable, but it's technically not against the edicts.
either way, Dante just shakes his head.
Listen, Dante,
I'm not a fan of these sorts of methods. I'll make that clear.
Oh, and you're more than okay with overpowering someone's will to go tell the truth?
I never suggested that.
That's what your zone of truth is called.
Listen, Dante, I understand that these methods aren't the best in the world, but when it comes to power and facing those who have power, sometimes you need to use methods that aren't quite above board. If life was so simple that we would be able to just talk to her and she'd spill all of her secrets, then certainly I'd love to live in that sort of life. It'd make it'd make me happy if I didn't have to do these, but in order to gain information and in order to find the truth, sometimes we need to play a little dirty. I can't say I like doing it myself, but it it learned us some information that we wouldn't otherwise have, and it's giving us some extra tools.
It's just the repercussions of getting caught with this sort of thing. It's only trouble.
Huh. You're certainly right. But well,
Personally, I just rather not get into that trouble in the first place. That's
Good. Then don't get caught. It's very easy not to get caught with what he's doing. Really, you should have a little bit more faith in us. I thought faith was your whole thing.
Dante is just glaring at Proteus.
in the game of life, sometimes you just gotta roll those dice.
Are you guys gonna stop talking about, or gonna stop talking what it looks like when I try to read?
Fair
This whole
point.
time.
Proteus will just say in grass, Dante is grouchy, and I know he can't understand me when I say that.
Isn't he always?
Oh my god. Did Malcolm respond in grass or in common?
In grass.
Yeah.
In any case, Malcolm is right. She said she'd only have a couple of hours of a window for you guys to report on the green dice situation, so we should probably mosey on over while we still got time.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll just head back to Laura then.
All right. You go to her building. There is a the door is open now. When you enter, there's kind of like this small little foyer, and there is a secretary, Lafani.
Before we
Oh.
Sorry, before we entered, as we were reaching the entryway, Nicholas was going to cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay.
Oh,
You're not.
If he's doing that and he needs to do like stealth or anything, can I cast Enhanceability on him?
That's. I'll let you get it off, but you're just gonna not have much time with it. because it's
Yeah.
a minute,
Okay.
but I'll
So I have to spend my spell slot. He has to spend his.
yes.
Okay.
Okay. And it seems like you were expected, and she guides you to. She points over to this stair. She says, "The top room." And
Thank you.
you go around this stair. It's very much like Cedric's, except it's an interior one instead of exterior, where the stairs kind of climb up into this ornate oak door, and you're free to just open it or knock.
Thump.
Yeah. Please come in.
Yeah, we enter.
And as you enter, she's sitting at her desk. This is a lot more organized than Cedric's room for the rest of you. There are 4 seats for you. And she seems to put down what she was kind of looking at on her desk and looks at you 4 and says, "Well, have you made any headway on the die situation?"
Yeah, so, well, we got a mix of news for you, good, bad, and weird.
Hmm.
Which one do you want?
Well, I'd like to hear the bad news first, so the good news kind of counteracts it. So, what's the bad news?
All right, so the bad news is we found out where the green dye went.
Hmm.
It was used in a scheme to scare off the miners from Red River, trying to make something that looked big and scary. They used it to make it look more intimidating.
Nicholas, she is confused. Huh. Really?
Yeah, it was this giant automaton sort of construct thing that the murderer happened to make.
Let me be a little more specific. She's confused in a way like she thought it should be one thing, but it's another thing.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So that's what the die was used for. In fact, we've
just-
got a piece of it over here. Malcolm, if you would present it.
He deploys the wing.
Also, just
Mhm.
as a brief clarification, when you said confused about expecting one thing, like she was expecting a different answer.
Yes, she was expecting a different answer.
Yeah, she was probably just. Well, we'll discuss it later.
Yeah.
And as soon as you present that wing, there's now fear.
So,
They were building this?
yes, it could fly, which I don't think anyone here has accomplished, considering the whole airship and magnesite situation, and it has materials from everyone's districts, as you can tell. But you never told us that any cloth went missing.
Oh, she's panicking right now, Gorvin. Or Nicholas.
Okay.
I believe this recently went missing, actually.
Oh, so
That's-
you just simply didn't have time to report it when you told these guys about what was stolen?
Yes, this is I got it recent. I found out this was missing recently.
I see. It's an honest, unfortunate event.
Granted, I mean, we
You're
were gone on the train.
saying that, Nicholas, is bringing her into a state of comfort.
we were gone on the train during the ride to Red River, so
Well, it's
it makes sense we missed that.
good you put a stop to this in any case.
Indeed, unfortunately, it means the mines will now have to be closed for a while because they need to do a lot of cleanup for what happened down there.
She
There
is in,
was
she is indifferent.
murder.
She is indifferent to the mines being closed down.
Okay.
Between the murder being down there and also some sort of infestation of strange bugs.
Well, I read the paper and it seems like you've done a bunch of tasks on your way to Red River. You're all right, correct? I don't see. There was another amongst you, and I found this young fellow playing outside my office.
Ah, yeah, there was an unfortunate issue regarding her family, so she had to leave to sort of help them. But
Fortunately, she
since
won't be traveling with us anymore. She's, well, yes, as Orvin said.
I was on the,
I'm gonna also say this. I'm gonna allow one more statement to probe something, and then
okay,
the next statement, detect thoughts goes off.
okay.
Yeah. So, choose what you say next wisely.
Oh boy. Let me think for a second. Uh,
Can I put in input here?
sure.
I'm more asking the DM.
Oh,
Well, as you know,
If it's no, that's fine.
yeah, no, like it's his spell, and yeah, so
Got it.
you don't have telepathic bond, so
Right.
yeah.
fair enough.
Wouldn't know
Okay.
he's about to run out.
It's great. Just a second. Ugh. Don't get sick, kids. Anyways, I think I will say the weirdest part is the murder seems to believe, or the weirdest part is there also appears to be a monoborn in Iron Brooch that is collaborating with the murder.
She's panicking again, and it goes off. Is that so?
Yeah. Fortunately, we have no clues as to their identity as of this moment. And fighting a monoborn in Iron Brooch is probably going to be like fighting a needle in the haystack.
Yes. Well, magical artifacts do find their way in Iron Brooch. Not many are versed in the. Well, we don't have one of those MDRA towers close to here. The closest one is the one near Loomhalsen. So there are not many. There are not many versed in the arcane in Iron Brooch, naturally.
Hmm.
But I've done dealings all across the world, and I've seen them come and go.
Would you have any guesses on to? I suppose probably not. If you knew of a man monoborn, you probably would have informed the council or someone else about it a long time ago.
Well, you don't really report them. I mean, they usually are with the academy, right?
Ah, fair enough.
least until the age of 18.
Hmm. But from what I heard, many stay there their whole lives because they enjoy it there.
Yeah. Being locked up in a tower, what a great time to live.
Perhaps it's Stockholm's.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it personally, but I suppose we don't know what they know, and they don't know what we know. Different perspectives and all that.
Hmm.
I think the
They
alternative would be letting these mages run around, potentially causing chaos.
Oh, anyone can cause chaos. Just look at the murder.
I'm just. What strikes me is you say the dye was in the Red River mine, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
Yeah.
on this thing.
Yes. But I would have wagered it would have been with it had something to do with the roads. So that's where it was stolen. And that's close by where the druid circles are.
I would say no, it wasn't so much druids as it was simply another plot of the murder, just well, making this thing look more real.
Hmm.
yeah. Well, we know that they have colleagues in Loomhalton as well because, well, part of this was made of magnesite.
Oh yes, yes, that's what they're using to replace try and replace the airships. I know Talia and Cedric are uh, it's their area of expertise, the magnesite. I don't so much work with it. Don't have much use for it here in my district. Besides shipping it.
Suppose so. In any case,
We found a new strange note on one of the members.
it has some sort of code or something that we really don't understand. Dante, if you wouldn't mind giving it to her, if you can't decipher it, that's perfectly fine, but if you have any idea of what it means, then you could certainly help.
Yes, we asked around and talked to Cedric briefly. Uh, we were told that you're at least familiar with languages, so hopefully you'd be familiar with ciphers potentially too. And he hands her the paper.
Yes, I'm very fluent in several different languages. Hand it over. Let's see what we can make of this. She looks at it, looks up at you, and says, "It's just one word."
Yes, that's the part that we're confused about. It might be some sort of new calling card, or well, we don't know. Last time we've seen anything from the murder, it was also similar gibberish. It's
Let's see. Well, it could be a cipher or code. Unfortunately, I'm not. I don't know much about that. If it was in another language, but I don't know what Henway means.
So you're about as in the dark as we are. Well, that's perfectly fine. Like I said, it was no doubt this is some sort of code that only really the murder would be able to fully understand.
Mm-hmm. There's language I hear scoundrels and rogues use that might be that. That is something I don't know.
Thank you for at least trying. You, even if it At least narrowing things down certainly makes things easier for us.
Well, if you still need to, if you still need work, still following up how and why the dye was stolen, where it was, might help. So, if you want to check those roadways where it was shipped, I would appreciate that to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Certainly check it out at some point in time.
Okay, well,
Yeah. Also, I
Anyways,
guess this is one question you may not know the answer to, but I've heard rumor that there was a time where the MDRA had a presence here, at least in a business venture. Would the Druids still be upset about that? Or what did the MDRA's involvement with that look like?
well, from what I know, the MDRA doesn't really tingle with the druids. It's all magic to just magical nonsense to us here in Iron Broach. We don't really dabble in that sort of thing. But apparently it's two different kinds of magic. If you want to even call what the druids do magic, they draw powers from the land and nature itself, while the MDRA is those born with arcane blood, thus Monaborn. There was never any scuffle. The druids, well, they don't much like telling. Based on what I just told you, you could understand why they don't like Iron Broach very much. But I've heard most of them are a peaceful lot, living on the land, cultivating nature. I've heard some are more malevolent, but I wouldn't know anything about that in too much detail.
Okay. I was just curious because I don't know if the combination of this and working with the MDR in the past would have provoked them more, but that's good to know that relations with them seem to be neutral.
Yes.
in any case, suppose you may as well give her the good news now that we've run through all that.
Yes. The good news.
Yeah.
Or was
Well,
the planting of the die the good news? No, I thought it was the bad news. Never mind. Sorry, continue.
yeah. The good news that well, it's more or less that we've found more potential reason to go look for these druids, I should say. I don't know if we want to call that good, but considering it might help you out, I thought I might mention that we've found a few more reasons to suspect the druids of potentially having some involvement with all this.
Yes, recently I've heard some disturbing things about people traveling that trail, which is why I was trying to urge you to investigate it if you four are truly equipped for that sort of thing.
I think we're going there next.
There was well, some of the guards guarding these shipping wagons, they fell into this. Some of them fell into this permanent sleep.
What?
And they... Well, the thing is, the driver did not sleep. But the guards, when they fell asleep, and they mumbled things like in their sleep, and nothing could rouse them awake until they were taken out of that area. But once they came to, they were hysterical for a little bit, saying things like, "Must not sleep, don't sleep, must not sleep, must stay awake, always watching, too many pupils. He watches."
Well,
They-
that's certainly strange.
They got over it, but they claim to just have this nightmare that they can't remember.
It's certainly something worth investigating, I'd say. Especially since we've been dealing with nightmare-related issues of our own.
Another thing they mentioned, though, is something about staying quiet. Like, they said they had to stay quiet. I don't know what that means. But the more disturbing piece of information is some of them were bleeding through their ears and their eyes and mouth while they were sleeping.
That's not only concerning but disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that lines up with what kinds of things we were seeing or experiencing.
But it's only in that area.
Somehow,
See, that's the interesting thing is our evidence points this happening in outside of that area too. But I guess not as indiscriminate, I suppose.
still, the issue of injury in your sleep like that.
Didn't appear to be an injury. It appeared to be psychic trauma. Hence the bleeding
Have-
through the strange
Yes, but
areas.
to still have physical symptoms,
Yeah,
I would certainly still call that an injury.
shouldn't that be impossible?
I don't know what's causing this, so I don't know what to tell you. But if you
It's something we'll have to be wary about, I suppose.
want to risk it, you could investigate what's going on there, since that was the area where the green dye went missing. How it ended up with the murder in Red River, I don't know.
Yeah.
Perhaps the murder and the druids are working together for some reason. Suppose. So right now we can only just speculate. We'll have to learn the truth for ourselves.
All right. Well, is that all you have for me?
I think that's it. We'll probably seek to visit you before leaving, before leaving to visit the druids, I mean. When we take that up.
I'll of course reward you for making the trading route safer. So if you do actually decide to take on this task, I will have you rewarded for it.
Very
Mhm.
well.
Yeah, we will. Well, good luck and, well, guard your dreams.
Mm-hmm. She smiles and lets you leave.
All right.
All right.
All
So,
right.
yep, you go down the stairs and leave the building, and you're now in the textile district proper.
All right, Nicholas says to everyone. All right, I think that was quite an engaging conversation. I'd say let's take up a room and relax a little bit. We've certainly earned it.
Yeah. Well, let's go visit Polly first. Make the most of the day.
Okay. Well, that's on your way there. It's in the central district, the apothecary
Yeah.
and artificer. All right. Yeah. So yeah, you make your way there, and they know you now, so they kind of let you in.
All right. Do. Now let me go check. So with this, we have essence of CR2, fluid of CR2, organ of CR3. So yeah, the flail snail is it was large. I'm not crazy, right?
Yeah, it was large.
Okay, so then we will convert the data that we have on the flail snail into the potion of growth.
Okay. Yeah, he will have that ready for you tomorrow. Uh,
Right.
how many things
So
have you made on the list so far?
I believe we've made 2 now.
You've made 2. All right. And is that all you're?
Counting this is number 2.
Yeah, this is number 2. Is that all you're gonna make?
We can make more than one.
Well, do you have anything else to make?
We can make another one. I mean, we could if we wanted to.
Are we saving up? Are we saving up for anything else
'Cause
potentially?
if you make a third new thing, you unlock a new list.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
about to say if we can make something else, it might be lucrative to do so unless we're saving up for something.
Yeah, we have to save the Unkeg data and crystalline test subject bone data for the gloves of thievery, but other than that, Ocean of Healing is CR half, and CR1. Isn't that what we were doing? I think so. The healing potion is fluid and organ, which we have the gas spore for fluid and organ, and then the animated armor is CR1. So I think we'll do that and get a healing potion too.
Yeah, we'll get a healing potion then upgrade.
All right. And as you do that, Polly says, "Congratulations, all of you! You've unlocked several with this data. I'm able to find out more about these strange monsters that are appearing all over the world. And with it, you get ta-da-da,
Oh man.
I will replace the other one.
Oh,
boy.
no, we've gotten rid of the old one. Oh wait, it's just the same thing but expanded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna replace it, the other one. But yeah, he says to you, many mystery dungeons have actually disappeared over the world, and many monsters that lived inside them might be about the actual world somehow. If you need to find monsters with specific monsters, I should be able to point you in the right direction in order for you to hunt them down and get me data for them."
That's convenient.
And concerning.
Well, with the data you've given me, I've able to triangulate their habitats, and well, it's up to you to slay them and get me data of them.
All right, we'll
Well,
have to
give us that data soon, because we might be moving out here.
Yeah, we'll have to think on what we might want to hunt on the way and get back to you on that.
All right. All right. Yeah. I'll see you. I will see you for later. Who are you, by the way? That is it. Like,
He's
Yeah,
like he's like
same.
noticing this guy has like his scanner.
uh,
Yeah, same story as before, only with mention that when Ira left, she gave him the scanner, so he'll be taking up Ira's scanning duties.
yeah. All right. So, yeah, the healing potion and the growth potion will be ready for you tomorrow.
All right.
Wonderful. Being big is good for everyone.
And you wanted to head to your inn next?
Yep.
Yeah, if this is probably what we'll be talking before I sink in as many hours as I can at the end of the day.
All right. You probably hit noon, so they've gotten about 4 hours in your. They got about 4 hours in your. Or no, a little more, maybe like 5 hours. Yeah, 5 hours into your armor by now.
Okay.
So you owe them 50 by now. All right, but you are back at your inn. The Howling Gears.
All right. Well,
Proteus.
ward the door.
Yes,
Okay.
especially now. All right.
All right. So she's the one. I had my suspicions given the amount of jewelry she had hanging around.
Yeah. Well,
Oh shoot! I should have bought a jeweler's kit while I was out there. Crap! I meant to do that.
yeah. Not only do we have confirmation that she's monoborn, but while I was reading her mind, she seemed to be very, very fearful whenever we talked about the murder's connection to the events here. And in order to, when I tried to move the conversation away from her and her fabrics and stuff, she became relieved. While it's not absolutely confirmed, I'd say it's very, very highly probable that she's the one who's working with the murder and she's their tooth fairy, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, scrying alone would well. She wouldn't be able to telepathic bond with him though. She'd just be able to look at him. That doesn't make her the tooth fairy.
We don't know what else she.
We don't
We don't
have
know what she's
any,
capable of.
yeah, we don't know what she's quite capable of. The fact that she's monoborn means there could be a wide variety of things she could do. I don't suppose you found a spellcasting focus when you were searching through her stuff, did you?
It's possible.
Mm. In any case, we don't have hard proof, but we have plenty of supplementary evidence against her.
Dante looks towards the door, just thinking about the ward. Uh, this ward, it protects from scrying, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just
That's
thinking that in
why,
the future we have to be concerned about that. If she's fearful of us potentially finding anything,
I have no doubt that she,
Has
I have
used it
no,
on us before.
and I have no doubt that she's been occasionally when she can scrying on us since we had that conversation with her.
If I were to take a stab in the dark, I'd almost say that Talia would be the second monoborn here. Because you said she wanted to point us towards Alara, which seemed a little strange, but if they're both mages and she knew that Alara had these capabilities, that could be one reason that she would do something like that. We want to make sure we confirm whether or not she's a mage before we continue on.
Yeah, we'll want to do that. Also, about the druid thing, I suspect Alara was sending, if we assume Alara is the culprit who's been working with the murder. I suspect she's sending us there specifically so that we will die by the hands of the druids. I suspect
Perhaps.
that it's a trap.
But if she knows that the druids are malevolent out there, then that makes more questions, not answers.
That is
A
true.
lot of questions.
In any case, that's what I've gathered.
Still think it's good that we ended up checking into the druid situation regardless, because, well, there's
Yeah,
already been the case with guards in the trade routes and issues inside the city.
and we've still got Malcolm's thing to look into as well. So, I'm not saying we should avoid going there. Not at all. I'm just
Yeah.
saying there's a possibility if she is collaborating that this may be a trap set up for us. But that doesn't
Well,
mean we shouldn't walk there.
this might be able to shed some light on things as well. He'll pull out his little box and bring the image of the paperwork to bear.
Yeah.
Now that we
It's
can look at it more thoroughly.
it's like I don't want to go into like the very specifics of it, but it's basically just this very incomplete document of like high quality fabric. Like
Yeah. So it doesn't like say where it was going or who it was
exactly.
going to.
Exactly. It's just unfilled. Or
So
it
we
was
know she was aware of this fabric, and a good while before she said it was quote unquote stolen.
Like, did this document have a date on it?
it does have it like has things like a date on it. Like it has proof it was there. It just where it went is just you can't really find out because there's just pieces of information missing from it. And they're not like scratched out or anything. It's just not filled out.
Yeah. Is the date like significant, like more or less the same time she reported the green dye going missing, or before that?
It was like in there before the green dye. Well, you don't really have the manifest for the dye, but it she said it went missing. I forget when she said it went missing.
She
it
said it's
It was
something
pretty
within like
recent.
the past week or something like that when we
Yeah.
talked to her
yeah
last time, which in itself was like a week ago now.
yeah this was in there way before a week, like a month ago. It was there.
Okay, so this was already planned. I'm more curious now why this wasn't finished.
Yeah. I guess I'll say it's just all the stuff of like it should be there is there. It's just where it went is just not documented.
Right. The only thing that's coming to mind is obviously this document is kind of connected to the whole giving said cloth to the murder, but the question is like, is she still fabricating details, or
Doesn't
because
even appear.
this isn't a manifest. This is like something that gets sent out, or
I think it's just a ledger.
Yeah, it's a ledger.
oh,
It's for her records.
okay, I was misunderstanding that bit. I thought this was like some sort of documentation for some sort of inventory check or something. I'm not sure. Gotcha. I mean, that's what a ledger is, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting.
Purposely keeping out details for that.
Yeah.
And
The
we
only
were
reason-
told that she's pretty meticulous when it comes to these sorts of details. She's got that head for business.
Mhm. This is certainly evidence of foul play. If we need to talk to Cedric about it, then we could use this as proof that she's at least aware of something going on. We'll keep it for later.
The evidence so far, though, definitely seems to start. It's pointing more and more towards her, but
At the same
is-
time, she didn't seem malicious to me either. Like, I don't feel like
Honest-
she's doing this to gain power or anything like that.
that's the part I'm not understanding is what is her motivation? Assuming it is her.
Hmm.
I mean, she clearly knows who it is. If she isn't it, she at the very least knows who.
Right.
Is anyone proficient with history?
I think I am.
I should be.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
check.
proficient in history.
Same.
I'm not.
Anyone who's proficient in history, do a history check.
Okay. Meow.
What's your modifier? Oh,
13.
Man, Fire Alley, you were rolling.
I was
hot
going to
today.
ask if you what your modifier was before you rolled for guidance, but I guess I'm doing it for myself now. Oh, that's even worse.
Oh,
Well, you can get Malcolmed.
He's already guidanced.
yeah, he used it today.
It's one per person, not once in general.
No, because it doesn't stack with guidance.
Yeah, I used guidance on myself.
Ah, you're right. Because it is guided.
Ugh.
Well, you got a 13. There's something significant about this, Proteus. If Alara is really Monoborn.
Yeah, because it would have meant that.
Wait a minute, isn't she applying for the position of?
No, she's in the Iron Council. She cannot hold this position. It's a breach of the edicts. That's why they're blackmailing her.
Oh, that's
That changes everything.
we don't know that for sure, but
It's enough to actually point her out to her, though, because if we can run interference on her behalf, that could help out a lot. But
Problem is we don't know if she's being blackmailed specifically or is a part of it. There's two.
either
Ugh.
But
either's a good time to.
Dang it, you didn't know
Call
if that
her
was
out
the
on it.
handwriting or not on that thing too. Or if
because
it was-
you've like come to that conclusion, like yes, she is breaking the edicts right now because she is in a position. She's in a political position, and she has magic powers.
Like, it's worth talking to her about just because. Well, I guess we should probably show the note to Talia first, just to cover our bases there.
if two of the three.
Because if two of the three are, that's wild.
indeed. But say you probably shouldn't confront her on it quite yet. At least
Oh.
until we have, because we're assuming her motivation.
It doesn't
Yes.
matter, because even if she's not being blackmailed, we can blackmail her.
Oh, that is a fair point.
Like, there's no reason not to, in my opinion. Well, you can feel free to chime in here. You don't have to lock up your thoughts.
I don't really have anything to say here.
Okay, just want to make sure you were part of it. Yeah. Either way, we've done a lot of things today. I don't want to bother Talia a second time today, unless you guys do. I want to just work on our armors right now.
That's fair.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I don't think we should. I'm kind of with Sonic on this one. I don't think we should confront her about it just yet. I think we should get a
Yeah.
little bit more proof.
Not to
Going to
mention
the
this quickly after the conversation.
going to
Yeah.
the Druids and getting more information around there, what's going on, if it's a trap, blah blah blah, all that stuff would probably give us the information we need to solidify a case.
I will say that will be like a, what, 2-week detour,
We got the
which is a
time.
lot of time for her to do stuff here while we're not around. And that's probably what she wants.
I still think we should go to the Druids.
Yeah,
Very.
I'm thinking, yeah, we still should go.
See, now
I
I'm
don't
thinking
think-
if there's anything that we lose by letting her have that time.
I mean, if we want to split the party, we can.
No.
What?
Nick kind of put her at ease.
Yeah. In fact, that was
Sure.
my intention. Was with that information, my intention was to make her think we're not onto her. So I don't think she's going to try and do anything that would cause us to lose anything. And because we worded up when we're discussing it, she can't know that we know. In fact, she is right now thinking we have no idea and we're just on a wild goose chase. So I think we're in a good position where we probably can go to the Druids, learn some more information, and come back without her having managed to make it more difficult for us.
I just don't want the murder to push her into doing something that makes things worse while we're away, or for her to be able to have that time when we know enough to pull the trigger now.
Do we have any other obligations going on at the same time? I thought we had multiple things to
Jasper.
aside. Yeah. And how long was the time on that?
It's like tomorrow, isn't it? 2 days from now, something like that.
Right, which
But that's also why I want to work on the armors for that. So if you want, you guys can go bother Jasper about that while I finish the armor. Well, more like get some amount of free money into it. So I don't have to pay all of my money away because I want to go buy some more toolkits.
I don't know what we necessarily be talking to Jasper about.
Yeah, about the espionage mission when it is, or if it's already too late for that. Because I don't remember, and it has not been brought up by GM in this conversation. Therefore, must be in a strange liminal space.
I don't even know. I can't even remember what Jasper's thing is.
He just wanted us to spy on people having a conference. So it would just be kind of asking him to remind you of the date, or you at the very least check in with him and talk about propaganda. But that's up to you guys.
I think just to go do the armor, and I guess I don't know if you guys. I have no stake in this, so I guess up to the rest of you.
Uh, and I'm in that weird spot. Like, I didn't really want to do work for him
You could go up to him and say, no.
Or we could
Or
just
just-
ignore him and go do our own
Yeah.
thing.
I think at this point in
Let's
time,
ghost him, guys. That'll make it better.
Hey,
Close, doesn't it?
we've ended up in too many obligations and just wasn't able to get to it or something.
I'm just racking my brain on that date, and I just.
Well, I'm gonna throw my since you guys are indecisive, I'm just gonna throw in there. I want to go see the druids.
I'm kind of on that line still right now. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think
It was more like what to spend the rest of your time today with. Was I ask him about that? Like, if you don't want to, you don't want to. I'm just throwing.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, then don't. I'll just work on the armor and we'll just close out the day then.
Okay. So yeah, you want to just finish up the armor and call it a day?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go work on the armor myself from here. I would buy those other kits, but I think the armor's slightly more important.
A jeweler's kit would be 25.
All right, and then a cartographer's kit.
Yeah, you could probably find that here.
Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure they could be found in the same district.
Yeah. That will only be 15 gold for that.
All right, so that takes me to 198.
I guess since we're ending off the day, how would I be able to make a first level spell scroll the rest of the time the rest of the day has left?
It only takes an hour to make one,
Oh, okay, so yeah, easily.
but you'd need to spend 50 gold. And an Arcana
That's
check.
fine. The Arcana check is the one that scares me, but that's fine.
Yeah, you could make a True Strike spell scroll at some point and give it to Dante if we want to boost his accuracy at any point.
Well, that's actually a neat idea.
Again, I'd have to make a check for that kind of spell, though.
It's 11. The check to make it is 11 if it's
Okay.
a level 1 or a cantrip.
And would I get an advantage because I have calligrapher's tools?
Yes.
Okay.
You can BI yourself for it anyway.
You actually
yeah,
cannot. You can't bardic inspiration yourself in this version.
Oh yeah, you're right. You have
It's
to
a
be
subclass thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
swords to do that.
Yeah. Or lore, I think, does that. I don't know. I just know you can't BI yourself.
Yeah.
You can get guidance though.
well, I
You
don't need it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So spend 50 gold and you have made the spell scroll.
Okay. I'll have a True Strike spell scroll and I'll give it to Dante.
All right.
Proteus, do your thing then, I guess.
Yeah. How many hours do I get in? AKA, how much gold do I get off?
Well, assuming you kind of at the beginning of the day you gave it to him, so he did it for 5 hours. So
Yeah. So that's 50 gold. 5 out of 16 hours.
and if you just do the rest, you can just have it by the end of the day.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
Easy math.
All right. Yeah. And you could. It's the Black Rock one, right?
Yep.
All right. So Black
Black
Rock,
rocks.
studded leather.
Studded leather.
I will just. Cedric will also like catch you too, and he takes you into his office and shows you this like the harm scale sitting on the auto rack for you. He's kind of like looking proud, waiting for you to compliment him, and
Yeah, Proteus probably has his own thing kind of set up there and be like, probably will say, well, I guess the apprentice can't say anything to the master.
yeah, he kind of like does that nose thumb thing. Well, a deal's a deal. Use it. Just make sure you know Hammer Strike forged that for you.
Oh yeah. I mean, the classes underneath you taught me everything I know, which has already come in handy. It's been honestly quite an honor to have worked here.
Well, I appreciate that, lad. Well, I doubt you're gonna be wearing heavy stuff like this, so take it to your that dim sheep lad or that other musician or performer or whatever he was with you. Could probably wear this.
Yeah, I'll make good use of it. Thank you for use of the forge and for doing this for us.
Yeah, my pleasure. And he's kind of giving you a big crate, and it's really hard to just kind of push it, but you could probably.
Moves 5 feet at a time as Proteus just pushes against it and just cheats using Mage Hand every once in a while.
Yeah, he kind of feels sorry for you and just gives you like a little like one of those little boards with with the wheels under it. Yeah, and you can get it back to your room.
Yeah. Cool. Do we want to give it to Malcolm right away, or do we want Nicholas to have it?
I don't know. That's between you two, really.
I was waiting for Quill to answer.
You can take it for now.
All right.
Okay.
It does have a level up feature on it, so keep that in mind.
How does it level up?
Just a sec. I will go back to the chat.
All right, you used the repulse property 10 times.
Yeah. The repulse property 10 times to avoid a hit from a hostile creature.
Okay. Gotcha. I'll have to do that.
All right. Everything in order? Are you ready to go to sleep?
Just before sleep, Malcolm's gonna pop all of his rages to get practice in.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
So that's
Gonna be
3.
like
Yep.
Okay, so
Oh dear.
roll a d8. 3. Well, you'd have to like turn it off and turn it back on.
Yep. It's just like 3 consecutive pow.
Yeah.
Okay, 5, 3, and 8. So let's just see what those are just for fun. Explosive spirits appear around him for 3.
God.
5 is nothing seems to happen because it's the force retaliation, and the other one is the chest bolts.
Oh no.
But
So what?
But if it goes in reverse, that means he ends on dealing force damage to something that deals damage to him when he goes to sleep.
It only lasts 10 minutes, and he's not going to concentrate on it.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, Malcolm gives us a light show before we fall asleep.
And you're just gonna long rest?
Yep.
Yep.
All right. So you will, Malcolm, do a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no.
Boy. Hang on, I gotta check a thing because I'm within 15 feet of my allies. That's only against frightened or being charmed. Here we go. I think it's a 1. Yeah, it's a 1. Oh, he's got that. Okay, so let's see here. 7.
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So, Malcolm, you return to the land of Nod. You start to drift to sleep, and everything, as it happens, everything just feels wrong. You're not in darkness this time. Instead, you find yourself just standing in a wide open field. This isn't just any field. You are surrounded by your flock in Helmfirth. The sun is low, casting a deep golden light across the grass, and there's a sense of calm. You recognize the others around you. It's your family, the other Malcolms, your herd. The familiar sounds of them bleeding echo softly in the distance, reassuring, steady. But something, again, just feels very wrong. You can't shake the feeling that you're being watched, though there's no one in sight. The grass beneath your hooves feels unnaturally cold, like it's been frozen just below the surface. The flock is standing still, too still.
He looks around and he says, I know you're here.
It gets eerily quiet. You don't hear the sound of the wind or anything. You just hear the soft bleating of the Malcolms. But they're standing still.
Alright, he's gonna go up to one of them and nudge it.
Alright. You start to move closer to the other Wooloo, but none of them react. They don't even turn to look at you. Don't even move. Their eyes are open, staring ahead, but there's no life behind them, like they're statues, frozen in place. Their wool is matted and stained with something you can't quite place. Suddenly, the soft bleating grows louder. It's coming from all around you now, but it sounds wrong. It's distorted, like something is imitating the sound of a Wooloo, but doesn't quite know how to. The bleating turns into this strange, high-pitched screech, echoing across the field, relentless.
Okay, he's gonna try to find the source of the sound, but I'm assuming he probably can't find anything. I've heard stories like these.
As you turn to find the source of the sound, the ground beneath you begins to shift. The grass turns brittle, crumbling under your hooves like ash. You look down, and much like before, the earth is cracked, deep, black fissures spreading out like veins. The cracks widen. You realize something is moving beneath the ground, slithering through the soil. You look back at the flock, and something horrifying catches your eyes. One of the Wooloo is moving, but it's not moving like it should. Its legs bend the wrong way. Its neck twists unnaturally, jerking back and forth, as though something inside of it's trying to break free. Its hollow eyes stare directly at you, Malcolm, and its jaw sort of unhinges to talk and says, "You left us, Malcolm." The voice is soft, but it's not coming from the sheep's mouth. It's coming from somewhere deep within the creature, twisted and broken.
But you told me to find the promised land.
As you say that, Malcolm, all the sheep start moving at once. Their legs bend and crack as they shuffle towards you. Their eyes glowing faintly in darkening light. The sound of their bleeding grows louder, more frantic, turning you into a chorus of high-pitched wails. "You left us, Malcolm! You abandoned the flock!" As the sky overhead darkens to a deep bruised purple, the shadows around the Wooloo stretch long, too long, creeping towards you like living things, and the ground beneath you starts to give way, sinking slowly, like you're being pulled down into the earth.
All right. He's going to jump back to try to get out of the ground that's cracking and onto safer ground.
As you jump back, it's like you don't get any distance from them. They just keep walking forward. It seems like you're running away, but they keep getting closer to you. As the dark mud is caking your legs, the flock is now closing in on you, their wool matted with thick dark mud, and their faces twisted in agony. Their eyes have turned a sickly green, glowing with unnatural light. As they surround you, you realize their bodies are breaking apart as chunks of flesh fall off, revealing black, writhing tentacles beneath the skin. One of them steps forward, its voice warping into a sickening mimicry of your own voice. "You're lost, Malcolm, just like us. Lost forever."
He's going to try to enter rage while in this state just to see if he can.
You try to tap into those powers, Malcolm, but it just much like when you grabbed for your weapon last time where it just turned into mud, it's just like you can't, like that function of you just does not exist here. As the ground just finally gives way beneath you, and you fall into the black, gaping fissure surrounded by the bleeding, screeching voices. The air is thick and choking, filled with the stench of rot and decay. As you fall deeper and deeper, you see something below you. An enormous, twisted version of yourself, staring up at you with hollow, glowing eyes. Its mouth stretches open, unnaturally wide, revealing rows of sharp teeth. The voice of the twisted version of you echoes in your mind. "You were never part of the flock, Malcolm. You never belonged."
He doesn't know how to react. He's probably crying, and he closes his eyes and just lets himself fall.
And even as you close your eyes, you can't unsee it. It's like, again, like that function of you has disappeared. You can't close your eyes, even though you are closing your eyes. As you draw closer to this massive version of yourself, and it prepares and lunges upward, its jaws snapping as it reaches for you. The shadows of the twisted flock cling to your legs, pulling you down towards the creature's gaping maw. The course of bleeding turns into a deafening, sinister roar, as though the very ground beneath you is screaming, just as the jaws close around you, and everything goes black. Then you wake up suddenly, surrounded by everyone else preparing their day.
All right, he's in a cold sweat. And does the typical ah!
Another nightmare, Malcolm.
And
They keep getting worse.
you get the benefits of a long rest, but you also take 2 psychic damage.
Oh no, the damage all barbarians fear.
Well, luckily, today we should be making our way to where the druids are, so...
He had another nightmare. Is he... Last time this happened, he had physical marks on him. Does he have anything this time?
Yeah, there's blood coming out of his ears.
Oh!
Yeah, this is
Oh, that
very similar to what Talia told us.
you mean Alara?
Sorry, Alara. This is very similar to what Alara told us. Okay. Yeah, I think this confirms that putting off going to see the druids is not an option anymore. If for nothing else, because it's clear this is getting worse and we don't want to see what the apex of it will be.
I am gonna need some time to prepare for this.
What do you plan to prepare?
A countermeasure. I suspect will be gone for a while, but
No
well,
one
I
else
suppose
here.
I can make it on the way there.
So far, no one else here has had these sorts of dreams. It's just Malcolm, but
Not yet. All we have to do is get there, apparently.
exactly, that's the concern.
How's the Dreamcatcher looking, by the way?
It looks fine. It may be just a stupid trinket. It does nothing.
Unfortunate.
It's hanging from his horn.
Has blood on it now.
Oh no!
Just don't tell him.
Well then,
Yeah, what do you do from here?
Cry.
Yeah, Malcolm is crying. It's free
Crying
action.
Yeah.
is-
Guess it's
I
time to
was gonna
go.
say.
Time to go visit Anna.
Okay. You go out into the streets of Ironbroach. The pollution fills the fresh pollution in the morning fills your lungs. And you see Anna peddling her wares.
All right. Anna, we are going on a road trip.
Oh, nice of you to tell me this time.
Yeah, that's why I went to you first.
Is that
All I
blood
have
coming
to
out of
do
his
is-
ears?
Yeah, we were hoping that the Dreamcatcher would help with that. Did not catch the dream.
Oh, yeah. Well, you do know it's not actually magical. That's just a... Well, yeah, you might want to clean that off. He looks like... He looks awful. He's not marketable at all.
I don't think he wants to be touched right now.
Okay. Well,
Dante's trying to just check over Malcolm physically to see if there's anything else.
there's nothing. It's just the blood coming out of his ears.
Just his ears.
Yeah, but yeah. emotionally he seems not himself.
Yeah.
He just needs a butterfly band-aid.
You can see every muscle in his body tensed up to high definition.
Oh dear.
Oh man, he's the perfect art student project.
We'll be fine, Malcolm. We're gonna solve the problem soon.
Well, I'll take a look at. Well, what I'm gonna say, it's like gonna take a week. Like you could check every week if she can find the tools. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I'll keep a lookout for those tools. Just if you do anything cool, just make sure, just try not to screw it up, and show that badge, Malcolm. I know you're not feeling good, but you'll feel better once Anna's wares are in that paper and are known throughout the whole air continent, and they stop talking about those Kecleons.
Yeah,
Don't
maybe.
worry, Anna. I know how important it is to you.
Yes, it's very important. Now you go out there and get me some publicity. All right?
Okay.
Yeah, maybe you can make a fad out of the Dreamcatcher's silver lining.
Well, it's obviously don't work. I'm a
Well,
miracle.
if we solve the problem, then it will seem like it worked.
That's true. All right, yeah. Just make sure.
More or less, if the publicity shows him with his Dreamcatcher, it'll then be cool.
Yeah, if they get you to pose for anything, just show the Dreamcatcher, show the badge. That should work. That's actually genius.
Because even if they put something over your badge this time, the Dreamcatcher, they won't suspect anything, but you'll have a stock ready to go.
Yeah, and there'll be more, and there'll be if you stop the nightmares from happening, then no one will buy them.
But they'll look cool because of Malcolm.
Oh well, we'll get to the nitty and gritty later. You're gonna be gone for a while. Okay, I'll hold down the fort here. Look for those tools you want me to look for. Disguise kit, right?
Yep.
It's probably gonna be hard, considering where we are. If it's not gonna be covered in grease and grime, but I'll try my best.
Yep.
And yeah.
All right.
All right. Do we want to go show Talia the
Honestly,
note before escaping, or do we want to just bother Alara and come back to Talia later? Because I will forget if we don't.
Write it
honestly,
on your paper or your character sheet.
Like a little useful thing is make a tab on your character sheet and put like objectives and write it there maybe.
Have you seen Sabrina's character sheet, man? Go take a look at it. It's like riddled. Like I can hardly find places to put stuff on it anymore.
Like a good thing to do on your character sheets is like make a people tab and an objectives tab. Like put like Talia Sunder from Iron Broach automations.
But yeah, I'm like, I have my notes, but I know that 5 sessions later, I won't remember anymore.
Yeah, but just like make a note and like the objectives, like go see blah blah to blah blah.
Yeah.
That's useful, but you can do whatever you want. What do you guys want to do from here?
honestly, like seeing Malcolm at this state, Nicholas is going to say, honestly, I think. Sorry. Honestly, I think at this point we might want to just hit the road.
Well, we told her we'd tell her when we were going to do so.
Well, if you want to tell her, then feel free.
Just let her know and immediately head out.
Try
Yeah.
to be. Just try not to. Just try to be careful with that. Or actually, you were worried that she would potentially do something if we leave.
Are you talking about this in
And
the open?
oh,
Yeah,
never
that's
mind.
my first thought.
Never mind. Yeah, I just realized that too. In any case, I'd say, yeah, fine. We'll go quickly tell her we're leaving and then out.
Who are you talking to, Talia or Alara?
Alara.
All right.
Laura.
So you take a detour over to the textile district and roll a percentile for me, a D100.
Oh boy.
It's Ice's
Oh.
turn.
She's a hard person to pin down.
100.
I know a way of finding.
Oh,
Yes,
Nice.
you catch her just leaving her office just as you get there.
I'm surprised we happened to see you here.
Oh, hello again.
Well,
Yeah.
just so you know, we're heading off to take care of your problem there. Or at least investigate as best as we can.
Oh, that would be wonderful. If you could secure those trade routes, that would be a big help. Because I have a feeling this is building up to something more nefarious.
Probably looks
It's
at
really
Malcolm.
bad.
yeah, it's our own reasons now for heading out so early on this. Given
Blood-stained dreamcatcher hanging off of head.
Blood coming out of his ears.
Are, that's
They've expedited their investigation. They should be proud of themselves.
just wait. Wait right there. She goes back into her building just because you got so good on that percentile. She comes back with a small vial and gives it to Malcolm. This should stop this from happening or lessen the effect when it does happen. It's a potion of psychic resistance.
Writing down.
Whatever, if you confront whatever is causing this, maybe this will help you.
Thanks.
Yes, well, thank you for the flowers. She looks over at her pot, just spilling over with these, like, magical prismatic flowers.
He's gonna walk over to him again and give him a few more blooms.
Yeah. It's like a butterfly flies out and then just, like, turns into a flower. Yeah, so... Isn't that something? Anyway, I was going to give this to you, part of the reward, but if it helps this poor deer from suffering so much, I can help any way I can.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, time that wisely.
Anyway, I have people to see, business to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Best
and
of
we
luck.
have. Thank you.
She walks off.
All right.
All right.
Let's
we
make
can
our way
do the
out.
same.
All right, so you're planning on going on the road and going to the trade route where that's happening?
Yep.
Yep.
And
Take
let's
the road
end
towards-
right there then.
All right.
All right. You know, we did all the stuff I was expecting to get done on last session, but Yeah, good job figuring that out. Especially going to the office and sucker punching me with that.
Every player. I want to go into the office. The GM. Oh no.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will see you next week, where we'll play with the druids or whatever's doing this.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
More nightmares.
Yeah, more Malcolm nightmares. All right. See you guys later.